This week's Torah portion tells us how Abraham was asking God to be merciful and compassionate on the residents of Sodom and Gomorrah. He wanted God to spare these evil people. At the end, God could not find it just and correct in doing so and destroyed these cities that were inhumane to others. You know, people have the wrong idea about Abraham. We always describe him as the epitome of kindness. We always say that if you want to look what kindness looks like in the world, look at Abraham. Opened his house, was always reaching out to others, spreading the good word. But really, the idea of being kind or being charitable in Judaism does not mean that you're so because you're just a kind, generous, and loving person. The word tzedakah, charity, comes to the word tzedek, which actually means just, what's right. When we're being kind to others and generous to others, when we reach into our pockets to give to others, we're not being a kind, compassionate person. We're doing the right thing because God gave us to be the distributor on His behalf to others. In the same way that the word tzedakah, charity, means doing the right thing, the same can be said for the opposite. That when we have to be a little rough, when we have to be a little judgmental, when we have to do things that are difficult for us, especially by our nature, we also have to be judging whether we do it or not by whether it's the right thing to do. Don't describe it of whether it's kind or not, because that's not going to get the job done. When we are disciplinarians as parents and we tell our children no, it's not necessarily an easy thing to do, but we do it to protect them. We do it because we know that when we say that they can't have something that's dangerous for them, we're doing the right thing, even though they may like us a little less. See, the Jewish nation, the Talmud tells us, has 3 natural traits. We're bashful, we're kind, we're compassionate. But you know what? Things that come naturally to you are not necessarily the right thing to do. A parent who's too kind to say no to his child when necessary is not being a parent at all. If you're a nation that cannot protect your own by making the tough decisions and being harsh and somewhat mean and cruel to others to protect your own, then you're not doing the right thing. You're being loving and compassionate where it has no place to be. When God told Abraham, I know that you don't like to see people decimated and destroyed, but you know what? These are evil cities. And to allow them to continue will bring chaos, disorder, and cruelty to others. Abraham, if you want to be kind, it's time to be kind to your own and do what's right. We have to start understanding that there's right and wrong in the world. And sometimes when we do what's right, it's not easy to digest. The nation of Israel is having a tough time because every time that we have to defend ourselves and we have to do what's necessary, it comes at the loss of life to others. And that's not something that sits easy with us, unlike some others. So like Abraham, your kindness is not a generosity, and it's doing what's right, and sometimes making the difficult decisions. When they're right, will have also a beautiful and good result, especially when it means that by doing so, you protect your own.